Hey there, Saki here from SAKITECH, and in today's video I would like to share 25 plus absolutely amazing tips and tricks to customize the interface of your LG V30. Now the V30 is a fantastic smartphone and has an incredibly flexible operating system that makes it a pleasure to use with these sweet tweaks and customizations. So let's dive in and discover. But before we do dive in, if you do use Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, make sure to follow me on all at SAKITECH Online. The first thing I want to talk about is the floating button. So let me quickly enable that so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So if you go to the settings, and first and foremost, when you look at the settings, you'll see that it's a list view. LG does give you the option to convert this into the tab view. So you can tap this guy over here, then you get the tab view. In this demonstration, I'll be using the list view. So just go over here and tap the list view, just so you can follow the examples easier. Now once you're done, scroll down under device and simply look for the floating bar. Tap on the floating bar and enable the floating bar. Once you enable the floating bar, you'll see a little thing on the side over here. Okay. Now this thing, you can put it anywhere that you want. You can grab it here, you can put it over there. You can swipe it over and put it on the other side if you want, or you can just keep it on this side. Let's keep it on this side for this demonstration. And again, you can move it up and down if you so desire. Okay. Now basically with the floating bar, you can get access to all these options here. There's 4 options. Let me tap that. There you go. So those are the shortcuts. If you scroll over, that's a screen capture. If you scroll over, that's a music player control. And if you scroll over, those are the quick contacts that you can in fact add if you so desire. Now let me talk about the shortcuts really quickly. So here's the shortcuts. What you want to do is you want to enable this. By the way, you can disable or enable any one of these little panels. So if you don't want the quick contacts, let me go over here. You just tap that and that will be gone for the next time you pull it up. So now it's not going to show me the quick contacts. Okay. So about the shortcuts again, let's go back here. These are the app shortcuts. What I can do is I can tap on this guy. It's going to go into the details. And from here, I can modify every single shortcut as I desire. So if I don't want the new memo, I can just tap this guy, just like that. Oops, tap this guy, and pick any other option from here. I can tap on customize bar if I wanted to. I can tap this guy here. I can pick the calculator app. So all these things are customizable, and of course, when you go back out, it's going to reload. It's going to say saved. It's going to reload the new options right here. So when I tap this guy, it's going to bring up the calculator. And let me go back into the screen. You can do the same thing with the screen capture. So with the screen capture, you have a bunch of options. If I tap this guy, and if I scroll over, these are all the screen capture options. I can capture the screen as a GIF or a cropped image if I so desire. So let's say I want to capture this, but I want to crop it. I just tap this guy, and that allows me to change the size of what I want to capture. And then when I'm done, I click OK over here. And that ends up saving that to the gallery or the quick memo or wherever you want it. You can change the app if you want. All right, let me just exit this for now. Go back to those settings. You can also grab these guys and you can rearrange them. So now you're going to see shortcuts, music player, and screen capture. So if I tap this guy, the shortcuts right here, that's the first thing that's going to pop up. The shortcuts, then it's going to be the music player, then it's going to be the screen capture options. All right, and like I said, you can disable individual one of these guys, or you can disable the whole thing if you don't want it. Okay, I really like this little option, especially for quick shortcuts, so that's how I use it. All right, let's move on to the next tip. And of course, the whole point of having the floating bar is to have access to it at any screen. So this is going to be sitting here anywhere you go, and when you need a quick access to any quick setting, you tap that, and boom, you're right there. The next thing I want to talk about is called the mini view. So if I go to the settings here, well, first of all, obviously this is a large phone. This is a 6-inch screen. It's a phone with a larger form factor than the smaller phones we have on the market. So it could be a little troublesome to use it with one hand, maybe when you're holding it like this with your thumb. So what you can do is you can enable the mini view. And if you go to the settings over here, what you want to do is you want to go to the display, and then you want to scroll all the way down, and you will see the mini view option. And you can disable or enable this thing by tapping this button. Now, one more thing to notice is you'll see that some of the options have the description of the option and the button, and there's the 3 dots in the middle. If there's 3 dots in the middle, you can tap that thing and go into the details. If there's no 3 dots in the middle, that's just a turn on and off button, just like that. So you cannot tap this and go inside. But with this one, because you have the dots, that means you have more options available. So you tap this, it will take you inside. So disable the mini view, enable the mini view, right? And when you want to access the mini view, all you want to do is, let's say you're in the home screen and you're trying to use your phone with one hand. All you want to do is put your hand on the bar, navigation bar here, your finger, and just swipe it to the other side like that. And that's going to enable the mini view. Now you can use your entire phone. You can actually move this anywhere you want, by the way. You can move it here. You can resize it, make it even smaller, and you can use your phone as if you were using it normally. I can go to the app drawers. I can scroll around, go back home. I can launch the Chrome if I wanted to. It's absolutely fantastic, okay? And you can use this with one finger, no problem. Put it anywhere that you desire. When you're done, you tap on X. It goes right back to the full form factor. So that's the mini view. Let's take a look at the next one. All right, next feature, the knock-on feature. So basically, just like you knock on a door, you can knock on the phone's screen twice, and it's going to turn it off. And when it's off, if you knock again, it's going to turn on the phone. So let's turn the phone off right now. So I just did a knock on, it just turned off. Let's say I want to pick it up, it's sitting on the table, flat like this. I double tap it, boom, it comes right up from here. You can use your fingerprint or your passcode to go right inside. Now just make sure to enable the knock-on feature. So you do have to go to the settings, go to display, and again, all the way at the bottom, you'll see that knock-on option. Make sure it is in fact enabled. All right, let's move on to the next tip. The next thing I want to talk about with the LG is you can actually use a voice password to unlock your phone. So with the LG, you have a separate layer of a voice password you can use. So all you want to do is you want to go to the settings. And again, we're in the main screen. Go down to where it says lock screen, tap on it. And over here, you'll see you have a bunch of screen security options. But I want to talk about the voice recognition tool. So if you tap this guy, what you can do is you can actually create a voice password to unlock your phone. Now pay attention, it says voice recognition is a secondary unlock method that results in your phone being less secure. So you can use it, but you have to understand it's not going to be as secure as a regular PIN or fingerprint password. So click next on this one. It's going to ask you to put your regular PIN number in. Let me do that right now. And then it says add your voice. So it wants you to say a word or phrase 4 times in a loud, clear voice. So let's just use my name, okay? Just one word. So click start. It says tap the mic icon and say a word or phrase. Saki. So it got the first part. Let's do it one more time. Saki. Got it? Saki. Got that? Saki. And it's saying it's ready for use. Click OK. Let's say click. You can also use it for 2 things, by the way. It says voice recognition can be used to unlock your phone or simply turn on the screen. All right. Let's just do the unlock in this case. So let me click OK. Let me go back out. Let me do a knock on to turn off the phone. It's gonna lock it up. And let me use my phrase. Saki. Wow, that just unlocked the phone. It's sitting on the table and you simply were able to unlock it with your voice. Again, not a very secure method, but something you can in fact do. Now the next thing I like with the LG phone, the V30 and many other LG phones, is they give you a lot of options that have been disappearing on other phones. And here's one of those options. So this is the home screen, and when you swipe over, as you can see, there was a swiping effect. All right. So these swiping effects on the LG phones can be modified just for fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the settings. From here, go to the home screen options. And then over here it says screen swipe effect. If I tap this guy, I can pick from these various different screen options. You have panorama, breeze, and slide. So right now I have this 4th option. Let's tap on panorama, and it gives you a quick preview of what that's going to look like. So that's that one. As you can see, that's the panorama effect. That's that one right here. Okay, so the breeze effect, and then the regular slide. All right, so you have these 4 options to use as your swiping effects when you go from screen to screen. And again, it's one more layer of customization you don't get on a lot of the other phones. One more thing I like to do, and this is kind of like a little hack, I like to go to the settings, and I like to go into the lock screen, and all the way at the bottom here, not at the bottom here, it says contact info for lost phone. Now what I do is I tap this guy and I just put my own personal signature. So I can actually, you can actually put your contact information just in case phone gets lost. But I like to just put in a little thing, just an example, SAKITECH. When you click save, go back out, and if you close this and knock on to turn it on, as you can see, you'll see SAKITECH under the time and date right here. Just another layer of customization. Meanwhile, let's unlock the phone with my voice again. Saki. And that's just fantastic as well. Now going back into the settings, back into the lock screen, you'll see there's something that says shortcuts and the clock. So with the shortcuts, what you can do is you can add more shortcuts on your lock screen. So I can have multiple ones. Let me just click add, put the calculator, and let's click one more, put the calendar. Now I'm going to have 4 shortcuts on my lock screen. And additionally, if I tap on clock, I can actually change the position of the clock from center to left. All right, so that's something you can do as well. I like it in the center. So when you click OK and go to the lock screen, you're going to see I have 4 shortcuts. I've got that SAKITECH thing at the bottom here, and it just looks great. Saki. And my voice unlocks the phone. All right, so let me just go to the app drawer, and as you can see, all the apps look similar, so they're all rectangular within the same size. What I did was, you can go to the settings again, and you can go into the home screen. These are the home screen settings, and you can tap on icon shape and make sure keep the rounded square option enabled. So you can keep this one too, but that's just going to show you the original apps, and it's not going to look as nice and clean. So if I go back out here and go back home, as you can see, the apps are going to reload, and some of these apps are not squared anymore. So if I go back, this is circular, doesn't have that rectangular squarish look. If I go back here, everything is like that. It looks more uneven this way. All right, so what I like to do is I like to go to the settings, go to the home screen, and enable the rounded square option. And of course, a few more things you can do here is you can tap this guy here where it says general, tap on it, select home. You can actually disable the app drawer. So this is the app drawer here, this button in the middle. If you tap this, it takes you to the app drawer. And what you can do is settings, home screen, tap on this guy, and then just do a home only, just a home screen. So there's no app button. All your apps are going to be on the home screen. All right, that's one thing. Some people prefer this. And the other thing you can do, if you tap this one, you can actually have an easy home. So if you're not too techy and you just want something simple and to the point, you tap this guy, and then now your screen is going to look very simple. You got the weather, you got the clock, and you got your apps right there. All right, and if you want to access your app drawer, it's right there. Everything is bigger, easier to use. Now I don't like it this way, so I'm going to go back there and change it. As you can see, even the fonts are bigger, so I'm going to change it. This is the way I like it. I'm going to keep it just like that. Fantastic. And the next option over here that I wanted to take a look at was the home screen again. And over here at the bottom, you have Smart Bulletin, Loop Home Screen, and the Grid. Let's take a look at the, well, Loop Home Screen is very easy. If you enable this, you can loop through the home screens, okay? There's no stopping. And if you go back there to the settings, go to the home screen, if you enable the Smart Bulletin, disable, enable, that's this guy right here, okay? Quick access to some really nice widgets provided by LG. And again, if you're here, you can tap this one to make modifications. You can disable certain options or enable certain options. So I can disable the whole thing, remove, it's gone, or I can enable the whole thing, okay? When I enable it, I have these 4 options, and you'll see them right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the Smart Bulletin, and if I go back to the home screen, at the bottom here, the other thing is the grid. So if you tap this guy, you can have a 4x4, 4x5, or a 5x5 grid. 4x4 means you can have less on the screen. So if I tap this, it's going to change the size of the home screen. So now I'm only going to be able to have 4 icons this way as opposed to 5x5. So it's going to be 4x4 as opposed to 5x5. All right, I like to keep maximum. It's a large screen, So I prefer to have a grid of 5 by 5. And of course, with all the LG phones, most of the LG phones, as long as it's not carrier modified, if you go to the app drawer and if you go into the management, you'll see that you're going to have here something called the Smart Cleaning. If you tap on Smart Cleaning, this is an app. It's actually a management app. You can manage your internal storage, your memory, you can optimize your phone, and you can access your battery savings settings, battery usage settings, and also you can test the hardware. So for example, if I tap on this guy, it'll take me to the storage options. From here, I can, clean up storage. I can see how much is being used, how much is left, all that good stuff. It's a nice information to have. And again, here, temporary files and raw files. If I tap this guy, I can delete them and make more space on my phone. So go back out. That's the memory. If you tap that, again, you can do memory management. It's saying these apps here are running for no reason. Just click stop all and they're gone. Now I have 69% of the memory available. That's the RAM. And then you can tap on optimize phone. It's going to optimize the phone, try to make it as quick and smooth as possible. After a couple seconds of optimization, it says optimized. All right. So now you get new stats. And again, you can tap this guy, get some battery information, or tap that guy, get some battery saver options. You can extend it, or you can give yourself maximum battery savings mode. Gives you a lot of time if you're short on battery. All right, let's go back out and let's exit back to the home page. And that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you were able to learn a few things about the LG V30. Now make sure to subscribe to SAKITECH, give this video a thumbs up. Also, if you do use Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, make sure to follow me on all @SAKITECH Online. Have a fantastic day.